has concluded. Give us some things we should have an eye on. Go.
Now, there were some things that happened in the league yesterday. Specifically, Chauncey Billups got a contract extension to stay as the Portland Trailblazers head coach. He had a team option for next season that had to be picked up and decided on within the next week. There were some other teams out there potentially eyeing him if he became a free agent. The Blazers locked him up. Last week, they locked up their general manager, Joe Cronin. They had a decent second half of the season, but it was still a little bit of a surprise that he would get such a strong extension this fast. But listen, other people wanted him. They didn't want to lose him. That's what you have. Look for the Blazers to try to be active in the offseason to try to upgrade their roster around him. There will also be no changes in Philadelphia. After this disastrous season with the Sixers, general manager, I should say team president, Daryl Morey came out yesterday and said he will be back, and so will coach Nick Nurse. I have to say, it was kind of a weird mission accomplished day for the 76ers. They lost. They finished the season going 5-31, Greeny, to ensure that they will have the fifth highest chances of winning the lottery. More importantly, a 65% chance of them keeping their pick, which was top 6 protected. Nick Nurse went along with the program. He will get an opportunity to have a bounce back year. And we have a very interesting matchup in the first round of the playoffs with the Timberwolves and the Lakers. It's a rematch. Not necessarily of these two teams, obviously, but of Luka, who dominated the Wolves in the East in the Western Conference Finals last year, averaging 33, 9, and 8, threw some daggers at them, especially at games in Minneapolis. I think this will be one of the more interesting series of the first round because of the differing styles. The Timberwolves like to play big. The Lakers obviously like to play small, but the ball is going to be in number 77's hands, and he's going to try to replicate what he did as a Dallas Maverick last season.
So, Sinead, again, to Wendy's point, in completely different circumstances, we saw Luka versus Ant-Man last year. No more Karl Anthony Towns. Luka's not even on the same team anymore. How much will this series come down to that matchup?
I think it comes down to that matchup exactly because Anthony Edwards is going to come for people's heads come postseason. We have known that this is the play, the time of basketball that matters the most for him. He's taken it up another level. When people look at him leading the NBA in made threes, I think people are like, oh, he loves to shoot the ball. No, to me, that actually shows he wants to be sustainable. He doesn't necessarily want to have to go down and mix it in the paint over 82 games because when it matters most, he wants to be at full strength. And now he's got that in his bag. Plus, he's got Julius now playing better brand of basketball. They need their two isolation scorers, that tandem of Julius and Ant, to show up. And then most importantly, as you mentioned, Marcus, like the ability for them to hopefully hold strong with their bigs. Because we know the Lakers are going to try to force small ball, get Rudy off the floor. That has been the question mark for them, the T-Wolves, the last few years. It's going to be fun.
We have a few days before this series starts so we can dive into it. But at first blush, which way do you lean, Lakers or T-Wolves?
I got to lean the Lakers, man. I just think, adding those pieces, right, it takes them over the top. When you say Ant and Luka, that kind of X out each other, right? Mm-hmm. Now you get to see what is Julius Randle, the acquisition of Julius Randle, how does he come to play, right? You get to see AR has been playing really well, and quite frankly, I just feel like that the Lakers are a deeper team. Luka killed the Timberwolves last year, right?
Like,
how do you game plan for that now, adding LeBron James to the mix, right?
What is LeBron's role? What is, so we've been waiting all this time. They make the trade. Okay, can't wait to see what it looks like in the playoffs. The playoffs are here. What's it going to look like?
He's super versatile, right? You play him at the center, you play him at the power forward. He can play the point guard. He's adding to Luka Doncic. He let Luka Doncic be free. LeBron James, at his age, is still one of the best players in the NBA, and that says a lot. He's coming into this confident. The Lakers team are playing really well. AR is playing really well.
Understatement.
Finley is playing really well. Listen, right. I think they have all the pieces that complement each other to get to where they need to be.
Look, I like Ant Edwards for making this matchup spicy, right? But the truth is that you have Luka Doncic who can go turbo mode whenever he wants to if he gets mad. And of course, that puts LeBron James in the off-ball position, which actually helps him so he doesn't have to put the entire team on his back while he's asked to do more defensively with them being small. I like that, but most importantly, the best LeBron James teams, you know this, have Kyrie, an off-ball scorer, have a D Wade, an off-ball scorer. Now you got Luka Doncic with size. LeBron doesn't have to carry as much of a load, which means they're going to be lethal. But I love that. Was it you? I can't remember who brought up Austin Reeves.
They are.
A lot of people question whether LeBron James would be able to be LeBron James with Luka being more dominant. But more importantly, they question, will AR-15 be able to be that guy still? He has exceeded expectations.
Oh, yeah.
He had a tremendous year. Candidate for most improved.
Hey, Windy, put a final word on this. Again, you were with me the day after the trade happened, and we were, well, let's see what it looks like when we get to the, well, now it's here. What do we expect it to look like?
This is LeBron's 18th time going to the playoffs. It'll be the lightest lift he's ever had to give, which is ideal because he is 40 and he should be able to save his energy throughout the game to sort of deliver in the fourth quarters. That's been the Lakers' strategy since Luka arrived. And I think most importantly, the big thing is going to be LeBron on defense. He is most effective when he can be a rover and a helper. And the Timberwolves will put out lineups where he will be able to move off of a guy, whether it's Rudy Gobert or Jaden McDaniels. This is a comfortable potential for LeBron to be able to play more comfortably in his setup, even though the Wolves are a much more dynamic offensive team than they were in the conference finals last year.
Again, we hit the weekend till we get the Lakers. We have Steph and the Warriors playing the play-in tomorrow night. We have the Lakers' first impressions. Windy.
This is a rematch, not of the Lakers and Timberwolves, but of Luka going back to Minnesota, where he dropped the dagger on them in the Western Conference Finals last year when he was with the Mavericks. He loved playing on the road up in Minneapolis. I don't think he'll be stressed at all about going there. The thing here is obviously the Timberwolves like to play big. They can sometimes play with two centers. The Lakers like to play with no centers. Who will get to impose their will? I think you will see the Lakers try to play Rudy Gobert off the court as much as possible in this series.
You like this matchup for the Lakers, don't you?
I do, man, and I think it comes down to Rudy Gobert, as Wendy just said, man. Listen, guys are going smaller, right? How is Rudy going to take not being able to play in those crucial moments, adding LeBron James at the 5 sometime, right? Spreading the floor out. Rudy Gobert is their defensive anchor, and he knows one way. He knows one way, and every time someone drives, he's coming to the basket. Will open up corner threes, open up spacing, and then look, ISO time against Luka Doncic. I don't think he want to see that.
It's a tough matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, candidly, no one fares particularly. Look at that. I mean, look at it. Hey, sent them home too, man. Can you translate the words that he's saying there for me? No, I forget I asked you that.
Not right now.
Forget we said that. Do you like the matchup for the Lakers?
I do like the matchup for the Lakers, but still, what I love about this matchup is the superstar power. Last year, the postseason was the rise of Anthony Edwards when he took down Kevin Durant. We saw that moment of Luka chirping.
Yeah.
You remember those images of Edwards chirping at KD?
Yes.
And then what did he do? He followed it up by chirping at Jokic, being able to take down the Denver Nuggets. Will he do that again? Again, it's a tall task, going up against Luka and LeBron, but I'm excited to see what this moment, it brings out the best in him. And speaking of the best in it, we've seen it this season, averaging a career high in points, 27 points per game. I don't know if people realize he led the NBA